What's going on, everybody? You're tuning into the Wishful Thinking Podcast, episode 1, where we get into the introduction and kind of talk about ourselves.
Yeah, man. Just bear with us as we are trying to improve everything, the quality, the sound, the picture, the image. So without further ado, enjoy episode 1. Let us know what you think. Like, comment, share, subscribe. We're out. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is episode 1 of the Wishful Thinking Podcast. This is it, Hadley. Go ahead and introduce yourself. What's your name? What's going on?
Hadley. Also go by HB as well. And that could stand for many different things. You know?
Well, I'm Nick O'Connor. You didn't give him your last name, but it's up to you. I'm Nik O'Connor. We're from Cleveland, Ohio. This is the Wishful Thinking Podcast, episode 1. And the point of this podcast is hopefully you guys get to know who we are, get to see if you rock with us, and we'll talk about a little bit what we're going to do with this podcast, where we'd like to go, things we're going to talk about, things like that nature. But
Pull that up.
we put a lot into this. Obviously, we went with the nice microphones. We tried to give you guys some good quality, good microphones, good camera, good sound equipment. Got a nice little mixer right here. I can give you guys some alarms. Ooh. Wow. So that's a little loud, huh?
Me down there, man.
It's a little loud. Whoops. See, but it's all like it's a learning experience, right? It's still kind of loud.
Yeah. This is getting all the kinks out.
Are you clipping over there, Dwight?
Nah, man, we good over here.
All right, so that's kind of how it's gonna work. Dwight is over there. He's the brains behind the operation. He's really good with what would you say, like the technical side of things. Tech guy. But you know, it's all working itself out, and I think we're ready to have a good introduction. We'll use these all as bloopers, and we'll chop it up a little here and there. But so where are you from? Tell us where you're from. I'll talk a little about it because I think it's important for people to understand. To get where you're going, you got to compare where you started from.
No, definitely.
That's how you measure growth. You're comparing one point to another.
Well, from Cleveland, Ohio,
Mm-hmm.
born and raised. Been a little bit of everywhere.
Like where?
Like
Like all over Cleveland,
all over, yeah, Cleveland. Probably the farthest, like, manner.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wasn't really in one school district till like middle school, so I was like all over, boom, boom, boom. But that was cool.
And you went to which school?
Bedford High School.
Bedford High School.
Bedford High School, yeah.
If you guys aren't familiar, Bedford is like a little bit outside of Cleveland. Famous people to come out of there. What?
Halle Berry. Yeah, Halle Berry's a big one.
I mean, there's a lot of like Cleveland level famous people, but other than that,
Yeah,
Halle Berry's
definitely.
a big one.
Yeah, Halle Berry. How about I say Doughboy, but he's...
Doughboy went there?
Yeah, Doughboy went there.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
There you go, Cleveland. I mean, you guys know a lot of the names from Cleveland. MGK, I guess. Travis Kelce, LeBron Akron. You know, there's names out there, but
Oh, yeah.
Hadley Bohr, there's no reason that Hadley Bohr couldn't be another one.
Yeah, for sure. There will be.
I'm also from Cleveland. I was born in Garfield, which is like a little bit southeast of downtown Cleveland. Moved all around for a little bit. We were in Cleveland for a little bit, D.C., Boston. Finally back to Cleveland, and here we are. But like I said, it's important to know where you're from because then that'll dictate your progress and your growth. If you want to measure growth, you have to know where you came from.
No, for sure. It
Right.
also, like, determines you as a person.
Right.
People from different areas. The way you... What is the word?
Like where you're from, your cultural
Pretty
understandings.
much. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What you've seen, what you've experienced, that helps
Mhm.
to determine who you are. And if you can't grow, you have to be able to be adaptable into different areas.
Yeah, you got to be able to adapt.
You know, when I was like doing my associate's degree, there was this article or book or something like that where somebody called it the downtown life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know I forget if it was an article or a book, but they called it downtown life. And basically what that symbolizes was the author said that the downtown life was pivotal for the growth of a child. And what she meant by the downtown life is going somewhere downtown or out of somewhere where there's a high concentration of people from different backgrounds, people doing different things, talking differently, asking different things. That exposes your kid to sensory overload, essentially, and they get used to so many different things, and it helps those kids progress. So they say that kids who experience more, you know, you get what I'm trying to
At a
say?
younger age, yeah.
Yeah, so they say it's a pivotal part.
Yeah, because, like you said, they're adapting to everything. They're able to build their character better than being in isolation.
Absolutely.
That makes perfect sense for sure.
So, I mean, we're here to talk about. I guess that'll be a good one. They know a little bit about us. We'll get more into us in a second.
Yeah,
but
for sure. And then like I'm sure like once like we record more and like have
what
more
do we want to
segments,
accomplish here? Like, why are we having this podcast? I know what I want out of this podcast. First and foremost, I want to have a creative outlet where I can talk and say whatever I want and speak freely, and that's one thing. I want to be able to voice my opinions about things. I'd be lying to say if I wasn't in it for the money as well. I mean, it's a business opportunity. You invest money into the equipment. You'd like to make some type of financial output, and I hope all of us can make money from doing it. Really, I mean, look at guys like Mr. Beast and stuff. What they're doing. He has his own TV show on Amazon, and he just walks around and he says, "I have infinite money." And he's literally what he says to them.
Literally.
And I believe him. He really does have infinite money. Like, I mean, money's not even real when you really think about it. They just print it and they just make it up, and it's just bullshit. But there's no reason that we can't tip into that. So that's two things right there. Is one, I want to be able to voice myself and be creative. Number two, I want to make some money, and I think that's why we all do anything is to make money. But it's not really about the money; it's the freedom that comes with having money that draws me into this. What about you? Like, why do you want to do this?
I'll say the same thing, like the outlet, obviously the money, but another thing that I feel like you didn't touch on would be like what the audience gets from it as well, because we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of different things on here. Obviously, we'll be covering pretty much everything. We're not going to be like narrow lane.
That's good.
Yeah, so
no, I agree.
So I feel like with more episodes, different people that we get on here, and
we want it to be valuable to the average viewer to learn something.
Yeah, take something from it.
Take something from it. Whether it's it could be anything. It could be something spiritual, mental, physical. Maybe we discuss some type of money making money making way that.
Right. Yeah.
That you'd like to get on, or maybe there's
utilize
anything.
The tools that we're doing and this and that, right?
Because I'm in real estate, and I could tell anybody right now how to get your first house. It's not hard. It's really not hard. So there's gonna be a lot of real estate that we talk about. I mean, we'll talk about the overall market. We'll talk about just money, but other things going into that too, like being a man, what goes into being a man, what you got to do, and we're all working on things too as we go. Like nobody's perfect. We're not trying to be perfect or talk.
No, like we're still trying to figure it out.
And that's essentially what we're doing. We're documenting the journey.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the sweet part.
Documenting the journey, going from what some would say rags to riches, what some would say started from the bottom, but I think that's the biggest part is we're documenting the journey. We're showing people that we're relentless, that we're not going to stop. Something is going to give one way or another, and this won't just be a long lost dream because people were dream chasing, and I'm trying to dream chase too.
Yep. You never know who's going to see this. You never know what other opportunities are going to come from this. Different opportunities, different people, and just all around. I think it's going to be good.
And I have a lot of friends in the Cleveland area, people who are doing their thing out here in Cleveland. Because when you compare Cleveland to another city, New York, Miami, Chicago, all these big cities, LA, they're all considered big markets. People don't really talk about Cleveland, but Cleveland has its own little market, and Cleveland knows Cleveland, right? It's a small town world over here. Cleveland knows Cleveland, but we rep Cleveland, and people who are from Cleveland,
you rep.
You put on for Cleveland, and you rep it hard, and I think Cleveland helps Cleveland. So that's really where I think a lot of it's going to come from is as we grow, as everybody grows, as Cleveland grows, there's infinite prosperity for everybody.
Cleveland is everywhere. It's always mentioned, and a whole bunch of movies and everything. Like it's insane.
When I take the real estate up, and when I actually start to really make money, one of the biggest things that I want to do is, I've said this for a long time, is I can't wait to have my own foundation. Just have a way to consistently give back, because that's really what I like to do. I've done it tons. I try to do a quarterly event, but I want to have my own foundation where that helps causes that I care about. I guess before we get into more, we got to figure out how we fund the dreams, right? Like we have the dreams, that's cool and all, but how do you fund the dreams? So What are we currently doing to make money? How are we making money? What are we working? What do we got going on?
Right.
Tell me what you got.
Well, obviously, 9 to 5, painting, doing construction work,
You do paint, you do construction work,
construction, remodeling, this and that.
but you're doing more than just
I do,
painting.
yeah, yeah.
You're
Oh,
doing carpentry.
Yeah.
You're doing plumbing, basically a little bit of electrical, drywall,
everything, flooring,
which is good to
cement
know.
work. Yeah, it's absolutely good to know, and that's what I'm doing it as a learning experience, because as your business grows more
Mm-hmm.
and everything starts going, like, just apply all that knowledge.
And they're good skills to have because the trades are becoming less and less popular,
Mm-hmm.
and there's more and more need.
Especially with buying homes.
Yeah,
with
buying homes, real estate, it all
with the
coincides
real
with each
estate,
other.
it all meshes. So.
Anytime one of my tenants texts me about, hey, this plumbing or this door handle or this light or this, whatever the case is, I mean, I haven't called somebody in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if there's stuff that I don't know about, I ask people that I know.
Yeah, somebody else is gonna pick.
I had a boiler issue the other day, or like 2 weeks ago, I should say. Boiler issues, steam boilers.
Mm-hmm.
Never worked on boilers before in my life. Didn't really want to mess it up and fuck with it too much. And then come to find out, I break a pipe and it's all fucked. I was a little nervous because I never worked with boilers before.
Yeah.
Give me PVC under a sink, I could do that shit easy. But boilers are. Plus, these boilers are old. They're like, the house is built in 1903, so these boilers are 100 years old.
Mm-hmm.
They could be brittle and break. So my buddy, Luke Darrow's stepdad, had a HVAC business. He came over, showed me, helped me out. It was all kosher. So
That's what's
you
up.
got to leverage the people around you. It's good to know people in different aspects of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But being familiar in the trade, is
sure.
It's pivotal.
Like, going back to the funding with that, it's like everything that we do is gonna essentially fund it, but everything is gonna loop back into one too, because as we're doing this other stuff, it's building content for this and for the videos. Right. So not only are we making money and putting it back and investing, but like you said, recording the journey and just everything.
So we have our 9 to. Let's break it down for them. So we have our 9 to 5, what we say we do during the daytime, consistently, that pays the job. He does the the contracting. I have a sales job. Okay.
Right.
So that goes on in the background. Then after work, we have other things that we do. So there's snow removal and landscaping that we do on this side of town. Reliable Snow Pros. Shout out Reliable Snow and Landscaping Pros. We'll drop some links. We'll drop merch coming soon. All the logos are here. I got stickers coming for that. I got logos.
Can probably even pop a logo up.
Yeah, I could throw a logo on the screen for sure. Well, but I ordered stickers. I ordered more business cards. I ordered marketing material because we're trying to buy more equipment. We're trying to scale it. And in order to do that, we got to have more sales and more business coming in. So we got to grow them both at the same time. Not too much too quickly because then you spread yourself too thin. But, so we're doing that in the background. Snow removal, a little bit of landscaping, just miscellaneous jobs too. Floor and painting, just a lot of different things coming in. What else you got? You're a rapper, right? So give yourself a shout out on that aspect. You do that.
That's the HB aspect of things.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean we're definitely gonna get into it. I feel like some episodes, like, I'll kick a freestyle in here and do a whole bunch of stuff.
We could definitely do that. And honestly, I think a cool segment for us to have would be like a Cleveland native segment only, where it's like a Cleveland native. Yeah, we're littler now. We're small fish. All of our people are Cleveland based, but as we grow. Absolutely. I would like to just keep it as a Cleveland native, where we maybe showcase local artists.
No, definitely. That's
showcase musical artists, painters.
Because that's how our guest list is kind of set up. Like, you've got more of the business and the white collared aspect type of people, and my people would be more of like musicians, artists, and entertainers. So that would be raw to balance
it out. And have a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got like my buddy Nick Padone. He does sports casting with Cleveland Big Play. He's got he's done, but he met you to come on. I got friends all over in different industries that would come on to talk about different industries.
Right.
So you'll hear about business. You'll hear about all the different industries. Scott's downstairs. We'll have Scott come on the next. I think Scott will be a good first guest.
Yeah, it would
because we know Scott well. Yeah. He's a testimony of taking a business from his garage to $1 million a year. That's who I work with. You work with him. I mean, let's tell him that. So other money we have coming in.
Another thing, yeah.
So my uncle's best friend Scott has known me since I was a child in diapers, really. And Scott is a DJ. He has his own DJ company. They do DJ photo and video. They do weddings, a little bit of parties, events, things of that nature. And one day I was like, hey, I'm trying to make a little extra money. Scott's like, hey, we could use another DJ. He knew that I did sales. He knew that I have no problem talking or speaking fluently and talking real easy. And so put a microphone in my hand, taught me the DJing stuff afterwards. And now we both work there. Hadley's doing other stuff with them. I'm doing stuff with them.
Sure.
And we're making a bunch of money on the side there.
The number 2 out there, though. This dude is the freaking...
Yeah, so when you go on a wedding, and we have tons of footage recorded. I'm going to drop some stuff about weddings. I got a ton of editing to do. Like, I have so much backed up footage because we've just been waiting on the drop, but now we're finally here.
Yeah. So
we're finally here, and we have footage for like a year.
Yeah, it's going to start
weddings, there's always the one guy who's, me, who is the MC, the person who's kind of, I guess, the number one who's leading the event, the person that goes out there and talks to the crowd and does all the mic work. And,
you're definitely boisterous.
And then the number 2 is the guy that's more of the technical guy, helping out selecting songs, helping out playing songs, helping set up, tear down, load in. Just the number 2,
setting lights up.
Yeah,
just making sure things go seamlessly while you're out there on the floor.
Dude,
cueing songs.
I love that stuff, man.
Fun. Yeah, it's sweet. We had a lot of good times.
I got to check. I don't even know how many I did last year. I want to say I did probably 30 weddings last year, maybe 40. Somewhere between 25 and 40 I did weddings. But that's a lot of them. Between like July and December, it was every Saturday I had a wedding. And I had some on Sundays too, but I really do enjoy it. DJing's fun. I'm not the greatest DJ. I'll openly admit it. I'm going to get better. I plan to get better. I'll probably be Scott's next week working on it.
Right.
Because after going to this DJ conference I went to in Pittsburgh, I'm like, dude, these guys are nasty with the DJing. So I got to get better. I'm always trying to get better at everything, but
you're more of just like the announcer out there.
I'm way more of an announcer and MC guy than I am. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll play a good song.
Yeah,
I know exactly what song to play. I can do, basic level mixing. It's going to sound cool. People are going to love it and scream about it.
Yeah, But
I'm not a scratch DJ. I can't go into a club right now and kill it like how some of these guys do.
No.
And I'm okay with that right now. I'm still trying to get better. It's my second season. But MC, I crush it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I crush it. And we'll see some videos. I mean, remember the wedding that we did where they wanted me to do WWE announcements?
Yeah.
Dude.
That was awesome.
We'll show the video from that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because I clipped that whole thing. Yeah, that was sweet. That was funny.
Right, how long have we been recording for? It's kind of I feel like now we're like out of the jitters and we're just like in the free flow mode.
Yeah, we're just ripping it.
Going for a good 16 minutes.
16 minutes?
Nice.
Okay, so let's. I feel like that's a little short. Let's aim for like at least a half hour.
Yeah, add 10 to that.
Because we're eventually gonna have to go out and snowplow. There's an Arctic blast going on in Cleveland, Ohio right now, and there's probably 3 to 4 inches. And when we're done here, Hadley and I are literally gonna go out and shovel snow for 6 hours and make some more money.
Yeah. Probably get some food first though, cause
we'll probably get some food. I'm not terribly hungry, but it'd be good. To
we're gonna because once we're out,
we're gonna be out for the next 6 hours. It's gonna be like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. By the time we're done, it's gonna be brutal. It's cold. Yeah. It's really cold outside.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be freezing.
So the grind never stops, and we're always grinding and trying to make money some way. But I think Scott will be a good first guest because he's a true testimony of going from garage to close to $1 million a year. I think his company makes, somewhere around there.
And he's well spoken.
He's well spoken. He's funny.
Yeah, he's funny for sure.
He's technical. It'll be good, But we have a lot of guests that we're gonna bring on, and you guys will be able to see the different sides of everybody, the different sides of us. You'll see different industries, people making money, different industries, how people are making money in the craziest ways, and I'm excited for it. I think it's gonna be pretty fun.
It will be. And then as we do it more and more and more, we'll get more comfortable. The conversations will flow easier. I feel like a lot it'll start coming together. It won't be as choppy.
I feel fine right now.
No, we're killing it. I'm just saying it's definitely gonna get better.
It'll get
we're
better
gonna have especially like repetition. Like we constantly come here, constantly doing it.
Yeah.
There's things that we'll pick up as we go too.
I'm excited. I think it's gonna be good because, like I said, it's not uncomfortable to me anymore.
Mm-mm.
And I think that's the biggest thing is you have to be willing to not care about anything.
Really, why would we? We're just in a room,
like
just us.
Some people are like so, I guess, shy. Not shy is not a good word. Some people are afraid to put themselves out there.
Yeah. No, that's definitely. I mean,
And
I feel like more people than not would
for
have
sure,
that fear, you know what
100%.
I mean,
Some people are afraid to put
it's a
themselves
big
out
thing
there.
because people are always gonna have shit to say, like obviously.
Yeah.
But that's gonna happen regardless.
People are always going to talk shit. You're always going to have haters. And they say if you don't have haters, then you're not doing anything.
You're not doing it right. And hate travels faster than love.
But I mean, I would be lying to the camera if I said that I didn't have a little bit of nervousness going into this.
Oh yeah.
You know, and that's in. I mean,
because this is new. It's
even
fresh.
this is my second year DJing. I did probably 20 last year and maybe 20, 30 this year. So we're talking 50, 60 events first 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be lying if I say that I don't get nervous on the 60th one as I did the first one.
That's good though.
You know what I mean? That shows that you're still into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was about to say even like before, like I go perform or like do whatever, like when I was doing the plays or anything like that. And when I did that 3 days in a row, but every day going out, I was like, man, like what if I forget my lines or what if this, what if that? But then once you get out there, it's just that initial feeling. But that's the feeling that I crave though, like that initial like, oh man. But then you do it and you're like.
So you're saying you get comfortable after a while? Is that what you're trying to say?
Like.
You said you crave that initial feeling.
Like that initial feeling of nervousness because I feel like you need that to stay on your toes. Like if you didn't have that and you were too comfortable, that's when you mess up. When you have that feeling going into it and you adapt.
Yeah, if you get comfortable, you'll slip.
Exactly.
So you got to keep yourself uncomfortable and doing things that keeps progressing you.
Exactly.
You know. No, that
but don't doubt yourself while doing so.
And I think that's a big thing too. Is not only is it easy to get wrapped into like being afraid, because I'll be honest, like I mean, like I told you, like I was a little bit nervous going from the jump. That's just the way it goes. But you can't doubt yourself either. Mm-hmm. You know, you gotta be willing. Like I could tell you confidently right now and tell everybody on the camera here. Yes, I was afraid to do this. Now I feel great, and we're gonna keep doing this. It's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be sweet. Yeah, I like it. No,
and we're all gonna be rich one day. And
sweet.
Wishful thinking, baby. We need like a little wishful thinking button. So when
That's
I say something,
thinking.
So I got all these buttons here, guys, and I need to come up with a little wishful thinking button. So whenever I say it or we do something that's like inspirational and it requires some wishful thinking, we need just a little. And I got all these weird random buttons, but I got this one here. Where's the other one? Let's give it some sound.
Brutal.
Wow.
Very low.
That's the wrong one. This is it.
Oh.
There you go. So we got that. We'll throw in there. So if anybody says some gay shit. But I think we need like a wishful thinking one, so I have to get on
that. Or even like the one part of that song when it's like "Talk of the Town." I just feel like that would be raw.
Yeah, that's a good song though.
That is.
I don't even know if people really know that song.
People don't.
I guess we could talk about where we came up with the name. So, I like to believe that I'm always a kind of happy-go-lucky guy. I'm always very uppity, very. I mean, you tell them how I am.
Enthusiastic and optimistic.
I try to be, truly.
That's what I would say. Like, just always.
Even when shit goes south, I try to be optimistic.
For sure.
I chopped my finger off 2 weeks ago. I broke up with my girlfriend 2 days ago. And I'm still here wishful thinking about the future of what could be, because I don't think I can't stop. I think that stopping isn't even an option. Like it doesn't, like people ask me all the time, like, oh, you make money like 5 different ways. You're always working. I am always working. Mm-hmm. People ask me like, don't you get tired? Yeah, I do get tired, but I literally feel like I can't stop. I feel like it's just not an option.
It's not. It can't be. You gotta keep swimming. And it could be a dead fish in the water going with the current.
Because everybody wants money. Everybody wants to be, financially free and to do whatever they want. But I just want general freedom. Like I want to be able to go where I want. I want to be able to go to any country and do whatever I want, whenever I want.
Just want to live.
I don't
live
want
life.
I don't want anybody else's input on how I want to live my life.
Yeah, you can't.
And I want a family, and I want a wife and some kids. Both of these guys got kids.
Yeah.
Dwight just got added to the
fathers out here.
Father family. This guy.
Shout out to the dads, man.
Shout out to the dads. Yeah, for sure.
How old is your daughter, Dwight?
5 months now.
And what's her name?
We ain't gonna tell nobody her name now.
There you go.
Cool. Smart. 5 months. Cool. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
You have kids too,
I
right?
have 4 kids.
All different ages, right?
4, 3, 2, 6 months. Yeah. Our kids are right around the same age.
That is crazy.
Right around.
I have no kids, but I want kids so bad. Like, it seems so cool. Now that you're finally in the father world, is it as good as it seems, or is it a lot of work? Or
It's a lot of work, man. It's a lot of work.
yeah, I believe it.
I like watching her grow, man.
I mean,
It happens quick.
Yeah.
She's sitting up
Yep.
on her own
Yep.
already. Isn't that crazy?
Pretty much.
Like, once they start doing that, and they're just like, then you're like, dang, that's a little human for real. Sitting up.
Crazy.
it's crazy, and
It is.
I'm the godfather of Hadley's kids. I've known him my whole life.
Yep, absolutely.
So I look at them like my kids, honestly,
For sure.
and I want the best for you guys. I've known Dwight for a long time. I'd give Dwight the shirt off my back if he needed it, but I want kids one day. I think that'd be so cool.
Yo.
I mean, that's one of the biggest ones. That's what I was talking about. Is like freedom to do whatever I want, whenever I want, with the people I love,
Absolutely.
with my mom, with my brothers, with you guys, with my closest friends, and then my future wife and kids.
Yeah, it'll be awesome.
Yeah, I want a whole bunch of kids too, so I'm gonna need to be able to pipe them out quick. I mean, 9 months of pop, I gotta have them back to back to back. If I get like, I'm gonna have to start at like 32 and end at like 40, because women start to hit that little, that timeline.
But who's to say that woman's gonna be
My
this
age.
Right.
She could be younger than me. She could be older than me. We don't know.
Right.
I could have multiple women. We never know.
Facts.
Gotta
be like Leonardo DiCaprio out here, just 20 to 25.
Elon Musk.
Them off.
Elon Musk, just 12 kids he's got or something like that.
He's a madman.
He's nuts. I love that guy. He's crazy. But yeah, I mean, can't wait to have kids, dude.
No, it's a blessing.
So that's kind of where we were going with wishful thinking. It's all the positive thinking that we try to incorporate. And my uncle one day, he just shows me the song "King of Wishful Thinking," and he's like, you know what, Nikki? Because they call me Nikki. He's like, this song is literally you. And I listen to it, and I'm like, this is a great song. I am the king of wishful thinking.
I like it too, because I feel like when somebody says wishful thinking to somebody, they're almost like putting you down, like making fun of you in a way. You know what I mean? But we're
Kill
literally
him with kindness.
But we're literally like no, that's how we think.
Yeah,
Like we're gonna do it regardless. Yeah, like it doesn't matter if you're like, yeah, whatever, blah blah blah. Like doubting, the doubt doesn't matter.
Yeah,
regardless, because we believe in ourselves.
And I really don't have doubt.
You can't. As soon as you have doubt, that's when it's.
But that sounds cliche, though. It does.
It does, and people hate on that, though.
It really does sound cliche to say that I don't doubt that I'm gonna be rich. Like, I'm gonna be rich. I'm gonna make it. That sounds cliche. It really does. But it's true.
That's the only way to be.
That's the only way to be, because you can't care about what others think, because there's so many people in this world doing all these different things. But who really gives a shit in the end, anyways? Like, if you imagine thinking, oh, what if, and then one day you would have thought, damn, what if?
Exactly. Yeah, you can't. That's the main thing. You can't go off of what if, because then you'll eat yourself alive for that. You got to make that jump. That's the only way you'll know. It's the only way you'll ever find out.
Because it's very easy to get into a downward spiral when you're stuck into same habits, doing the same things.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very easy. But it's also very easy to get stuck into an upward spiral when you're consistent and you're hitting all your metrics and these goals that you set yourself. It's easy to stay on the winning track when you're winning, and it's easy to stay on the losing track when you're losing. Mm-hmm. That's just the way life goes.
That's just how it is. Which way do you twist the screw?
What's hard is jumping from one track to the other. And that's what stops a lot of people, because comfortability could be your demise, and it's easy and you want to do it, though. But same thing could be said about success. And jumping from one to the other, that's the hardest part, is just taking that leap of faith, like you said, throwing yourself in the waters. And that's what we're doing here with this podcast, truly. And I'm excited for the ride, my friend. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have a lot of good guests on here. I mean, we've been talking about doing stuff for a long time.
Having the guest on here, that's when it's going to get juicy.
That's when it's going to get turned, because
that's going to be awesome.
This is just one-on-one, just keeping it real, personal. Real
the kickoff. This is just getting to know us, we're just setting the expectations for what.
If it wasn't snowing this crucially, I would say, well, hey, while Scott's here, come up here and let's record episode 2. but it's really actually snowing pretty bad out there. So I mean that's what we got going on. So
Yeah, we gotta
we'll circle back
make
to that.
money.
So we're working 9 to 5s. We're doing side work, DJ, making money that way. We have this landscaping snow removal company that makes money, and everybody's making decent money. It's a lot of work, a lot of jobs coming in, but I personally am in the real estate game, so have one rental property in Lakewood. It's a duplex, side by side double. Now Lakewood, if you're not familiar, is a very trendy, you know, oldish. I mean, the houses were built like between Lakewood was built between 1900 and 1920. The Roaring 20s hit.
Lakewood is awesome though.
It's nice. There's a lot of food, a lot of bars, a lot to do. Great schools, great. There's so much going on in Lakewood. They have a great city, nice. All their festivals. It's like a festival every weekend in the summer, like every weekend. That's not even an exaggeration.
No,
like,
yeah,
really
it's
every
lit out
weekend.
there. Yeah,
It's an awesome city. It's probably the best place to live. Well, honestly, I think in Cleveland because, yeah, you could live in the suburbs like Westlake or even Macedonia, and it's going to be just suburb living. But you get nice suburb living kind of close to the city in Lakewood,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah, it's
nice.
more like small city vibe.
Everybody loves it. Everybody wants to live in Lakewood.
Yeah.
So I have a double out there, and I have absolutely no issues getting renters in there and getting the
yeah.
asking price that I want. And it's been my best investment so far. Then we just bought a house, my brother and I. You guys will meet my brother eventually. He's a welder and he works his ass off too. But
He'll be funny to have on here for.
it'll be funny to have on here for sure.
Yeah, we're
We
gonna
got
be
the third mic right there if we need to pull it out. We kind of had it off to the side for Dwight, but yeah. Then my brother and I, we call him Habibi. Real name is Ibrahim Abe. B and I bought this house in Parma. We've been here like 7 months now, trying to move out honestly, which means I have to get rid of the studio. I mean, I'll just build another studio then, or maybe I'll
Mhm.
like rent a place.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna
As
bring
we
that
grow, it's like we need to like move the studio out of the house because this is like while we're
up.
starting off.
What we'll do is we'll all go in on like an actual studio like apartment, kind of like what Chronic had. Because how sweet would that be? Remember how he had the radio
Yeah.
room, and then the other room was like the studio.
Yeah,
like,
it would be dope if we had like a little
what I
like a
mean?
2-bedroom apartment that we made a studio.
and then had like actual recording booth in there too.
Yeah.
Because Hayden was even talking about, which is my brother, like getting his own thing to do that and start.
If we all went in on
Oh
something,
yeah, you know what I mean. It would cost
because
efficient for
there's
sure.
a lot of equipment we have right now.
Yeah.
And this is expensive equipment and it's good equipment. Like
Yeah.
these are Shure microphones. These are $200 microphones a pop.
Kudos to Nick out here.
They're good microphones. You can record good quality audio. It's a
You
good
really
camera.
did this. You really set this up. This was you.
I
did a
put-
good job.
This was probably
Put his heart into this shit.
I did. I mean, this was the vision that I had. I enjoyed it. I put decent money into it. I put time into it, dude, and I'm really hoping it pays out. But this
Yeah.
is all stuff that could be taken to the next level too.
No, for sure. Yeah, it'll just.
It's
get
not like
bigger
we
and
level
bigger.
up. We don't use these microphones anymore. Like
Right.
these are some of the best microphones you
Yeah,
can
these are
buy.
great.
So and they're Shure. I mean, that's
Yeah.
that's the best.
Right.
One of the best brands.
Yeah. Yeah.
So these are all things to take with us as we level up. And I
Mhm.
think if we get a studio, it'd be kind of cool. And maybe just change the background up a little bit, or
Here and there.
introduce more technology. Have a
Definitely.
TV in the background, or
Yeah.
there's so many different ways it
for
could
sure.
go. So that's definitely in the future. And
gonna be
it's a
sweet.
part of real estate too. Like I honestly would, if the real estate continues to grow, and Hadley, you need to hop on the real estate. I told you Hadley's about to buy his first house here soon.
Yeah. Hopefully.
It's just a matter of getting all the steps in place.
Yep.
I got the whole process down. I've done it twice now. Well, 3 times I sold a house. Sold a house, bought a house, and bought another house, and we're probably gonna buy another one. So that's why I'm trying to move out. Because you only have to be in a place for a year.
Right.
For FHA guidelines. You buy an FHA, that means you get 3.5% down on your house compared to a conventional 5, 10, 15, or 20%, depending on the loan. If you're talking 3% compared to 20%, that's a savings of 17%. And on down payment, that's thousands of
Insane,
dollars,
yeah,
like
absolutely.
$20,000, $30,000, $40,000
Yeah, that's
you
a
can
determining
save.
factor. Where you gonna pay tens of thousands or a couple thousand?
Yeah, no, like
That's-
this, like I'm telling you, like this place was a $200,000 house in Parma that could rent out for easily probably $2,000 because you got a finished attic, finished basement, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths,
Yeah, it's
garage,
Yeah.
patio,
absolutely.
fireplace. This place is loaded.
And
driveway. I can get
value's
$2,000
about
for
to
this.
go up too with the Brown Stadium
Yep.
and Brook Park.
Cleveland
it's
Browns at
about to
Brook
get
Park.
hitting.
Value's going up.
Oh,
the rents
yeah.
are gonna go up. It's
Gonna
about
be
to
insane.
be good.
Absolutely. Shit, Lakewood might even go up too, because Lakewood's.
We only put like $7,000, $8,000 down on this house. Like that's nothing to buy a house. Really, when you think about it, that's why I tell people
That's
like
awesome.
people think buying a house is like this crazy, outrageous thing. It's not.
You just got to know how to work the cash flow.
Yeah.
You just got to know
Exactly.
how to.
Exactly.
Keep
The
everything.
only way we can move out of here is if we have somebody else paying our rent. Like if we have renters in here.
All right.
That's the only way we move out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's managing the cash flow.
Yep.
Which would be easy to do. Don't get me wrong, but we got to have a place to go. So in order to make that thing last, like it's a really calculated move. Like imagine this, all at the same time. You need all this to happen. At the same time, you need to close on a new house, have all the money, buy the new house, go through the closing process, close somewhere in the same time frame of moving out of this house. But then you also got to find people to move in at the same time you're moving out. But then you got to give it like a week buffer to clean the paste and kind of touch up the paints and do whatever. But it all has to hit within a 30-day time frame. That's a lot of moving pieces to like successfully execute. Because if you miss a gap month, let's say I move out into the new one, and then I can't get people in here for like a month or two after I move out. You got to pay that month or two. And if you don't have that mortgage note, that $2,000 lying around back to back, I mean, then you're done.
You're losing.
So it's
You drop
very. And when I moved out of my house in Lakewood, it was super easy. I found people who were looking to rent 6 months in advance. It'd be like me trying to find renters right now for July and it's January. And I found the people because it's Lakewood, because there's like waiting lists in Lakewood.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how apartment is, so we'll have to see. I think I could be able to rent it out though, given how
I
nice the
think
house
so,
is.
yeah,
Like
for sure.
there's so much space. I mean, there's 2,200 finished square foot. So
And once you get more properties, I mean, then you won't even have to worry about that gap. You know what I mean?
oh yeah,
The
when you start to
profit
make
will be-
money,
the profit will be so there, like
Yeah.
from all your other rentals and whatnot. You'll be able to just be like, all right, next house, I can rent this out in a year if
and
I
it's
need
very
to.
easy once you get your first house to get your second house. Like you just gotta know how to do it. Like
Yeah.
like you could also get your first house for like depending on the price of the home, that's how much you put down, but it could be like 7, 8, 10 grand, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can then live in it for a year, 2, 3 years, refinance it, take some cash out, and you could buy another house and make that your
Yeah.
rental, and you could stay there. You could stay there, or you could you could do whatever. It's super easy.
No, for sure.
It's just you just gotta know how to do
You
it.
just gotta get started.
It's a
It's
lot of
all
work.
about getting
It's
started.
a lot of work too. Like I dread
it
doing
is,
the
yeah.
accounting.
Oh hell yeah,
Um,
it's crazy. It's awesome though.
37 minutes, man, feels good.
We've
snow
been
finally stopped.
flowing, which is good for us because shoveling while it's snowing sucks.
Yeah, it finally stops, and now we can go out there and we can just get rid of it all.
Yeah, that'll be something.
Is there anything else we wanted to talk about? Let's recap here. So we kind of gave a little bit about who we are. They can't know us entirely because it's only one episode.
Yeah, that would
It's
be
gonna take
too
them a
deep,
long
yeah.
time to get to know us.
It's gonna, yeah, for sure. Like they just
Explain
gotta
about
have the
what we did. Our
interactions
9
and
to
shit.
5, DJing. Yeah, we explained all we did. I mean, I personally make money in so many ways possible. It hurts my fucking head sometimes trying to keep up.
Yeah, because you definitely didn't hit every point, but it'll come though. Like because it's gonna be like, oh yeah, this, boom, 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 and then
Real estate, landscaping, snow removal, main job, DJing, podcasting. Trade a little bit of stocks here or there. Made some money in the stock market this year. That was cool. But I mean, yeah, we're gonna have plenty of episodes to get into this.
the new listeners will get to know us. Honestly, most people that are tapping in
Already
know
us.
us. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? They know what's going on, so
Yeah.
that's gonna be cool. But then
'Cause
the newer,
we did some-
listeners will, you know what I mean?
We did a little bit of like sneaks here or there, and I got a lot of good responses out of it. Like, I got people swiped up, like, "Hey, can't wait to watch it."
Yeah, for sure.
You know, people want to be guests, so on and so forth.
People either love us or hate us.
And I just want this to grow to a point where it could be big in Cleveland, and anybody in Cleveland can come and feel like they have an outlet to just talk about
Yeah,
themselves, talk
for
about what they
sure.
want to do, talk about their life, and just be an outlet. I think that'll be huge for the city,
That'll be sweet.
because there really is no big podcast from the city besides Jason Kelsey's New Heights, which I think is a great name for a podcast because they're from Cleveland Heights. They call it
Yeah,
New
that's
Heights.
tough. Yeah, that's tough.
Like that's clever.
That's
That's good.
very
It's
awesome.
very good. So shout out to them, Cleveland. But I mean, those are the biggest names doing podcasts. But they're not even like, oh, we're a Cleveland podcast. They're just guys from Cleveland who are in
Right.
podcasts. But they did call it
No,
New
for
Heights.
sure.
So I mean, it is what it is. But So we touched on who we are, what we plan to do. Anything else you want to tell the camera? I think we could probably cut it off here for a good episode.
Yeah.
Good first episode.
Yeah, I think we did.
We'll figure out who we're gonna do as a second guest. I think it's gonna be Scott. Will be our next guest. We'll get that lined up. This was again just a trial run, but I mean we're gonna post this. It was the first episode. We'll
No,
chop
for
it up a
sure.
little bit, but
Yeah, here and there.
I'm just here to
I
have
mean, it was
fun.
smooth. I feel like we really didn't have much dead
No.
space. Like it was like we were flowing.
It's because it's just you and I having a conversation right now. I'm not even trying to like play it like, but like I just tried to like act like the camera wasn't there.
No, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, I look at the
That's how
camera
you
and I
gotta
do
do
the
it.
camera
Yeah,
look,
yeah,
but
yeah, of course here and there, but like
just trying to keep it authentic.
Yeah.
Because you and I will be having the same conversation whether the camera
whether the
rolling
camera
or
was
not.
on or not. Yeah, pretty much is how. I was
But they don't
thinking
know
about
that yet. But they'll get to know that.
it. Mhm.
So yeah, we'll figure out the next guest. We'll get everything rolling. I'm glad. I'm excited. I think it's fun, regardless if we make $1 or $1 million. I'm
Yeah,
gonna have
it's fun.
doing
Yeah,
it.
it's cool. Yeah, it's gonna be sweet, especially.
And
Keep going, get merchandise.
we'll
get
figure
this
out how
done.
to. I have a lot of AI automation stuff that I want to implement that'll help us boost everything.
I'm ready. I'm ready to promote this shit. Like
I have some AI stuff that'll promote it for us. We're gonna get. I don't want to drop
Go
too
ahead.
much sauce just yet.
No, you're good.
But I got some
That'd
shit
be
that'll
sweet.
automate it for us. I learned a lot, and we're gonna get rock and rolling here.
Yeah, it's gonna be insane.
All right, Wishful Thinking, episode 1. We'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Talk about us with your friends, with your grandmas, with
Yep.
any beautiful lady that you know. Feel
All
free
that.
to follow us on social medias. We'll put all of our stuff in the description down below. We'll have
Yep.
all of our social medias, any musical outlets, anything that was said in this video. We'll drop links to.
For sure.
Other than that, we'll see you guys next time. Wishful Thinking out. Wait a second. Hold on. So there was something that I wanted to. So we're gonna have different segments, and this might add like another few minutes, but we're gonna have a bunch of different segments. Not gonna talk about it too much. One of the main segments that I want to do is this is one of my favorite books. It's called The Complete Little Life's Instruction Book. Okay, and I've read this book back and front a few times. So what we're gonna do at the end of every one is we're just gonna randomly open it up, and we're gonna choose a number, and we're gonna read it out loud into the microphone because we're the kings of wishful thinking. So how do you think of a number 1 to 1,000? Any number.
1077.
Huh?
77.
77.
77. My bad. I was leaning back.
Pretty. Wow, we're going to the beginning of the book here.
How was I supposed to know beginning? Oh, because 1,000. Yeah. Well,
So-
that is what it is. 77. I wanted.
This one wasn't that good of a one. I wish it was a better one.
Well, that's what I picked.
77 is what you picked. All right.
Listen,
So
that's what it is.
Dwight, give me
dude.
another number 2.
Let's do 777.
Okay, so we'll read
Wow.
77, then we'll compare it to 777.
All right. Yeah.
So 77 says slow dance. Okay. So the point of this book is to give you things that you're supposed to do. It's like life's instruction book.
Right.
Okay, so that's why that was a bad example.
No, that's a good
It's
example.
good. Slow dance. Like it's
Take
a
a moment to slow dance.
Well, I just randomly flipped to it. All right. 777. When you're uncertain of what you should pay someone, ask, what do you think is fair? You'll almost always get a reasonable answer. So basically what it's saying is when you don't know what to pay somebody, ask them what they think is fair, because usually the first person, they say this a lot in business, the first person to throw out a number loses, because he could be thinking he's worth 25 an hour. And I'm like, oh man, what if he asks 30? But he's like, oh, I'll take 25. And you're like, sweet, I'll pay you 25.
No,
You know?
definitely. Yeah.
Versus if you come out and you say 30 and he was only thinking 25, now he's like, hell yeah, it's made an extra $5. You know?
Right.
So
That's why I
never be
always
the
made
first to
myself
speak on a
high.
price.
Well, if I'm speaking on a price, I'm gonna.
If-
If I go first, I'm
Yeah.
going high.
If they ask you,
have
how
to.
much you charge, yeah. So life's little instruction book. That's what we wanted to rewrap.
That's sweet. I want to get that book.
At the end of every single one, we're gonna go through and we're just gonna go random number. The numbers go a lot higher than 1,000. It goes to like 1,600.
Okay.
So we'll read one randomly and we'll just read it aloud. There's some good stuff in here. I invite you to look at
sweet.
this book after the camp. But
I'm
all
going
right, Wishful Thinking, we're now out.
Now, actually, I'm not gonna lie. Ass is kind of hurting on this couch. I can't lie to you.
It's a really bad couch.